Recently, with my videos on Attack on Titan final season blowing up, I thought it would be a good time to reveal my evil anime villain backstory and explain to you the story of all about how Attack on Titan turned my life upside down. But for the better. So yes, this video won't be some deep dive analysis on Attack on Titan, rather something more, as some people would say, emotional and personal to me. So if you don't mind, join me on my journey that spans from July of 2011 to January of 2021. Let's get into this. This is literally the story of SeaTactics kinda as we know it, and how Attack on Titan is the reason I'm doing anime videos at all. So the first phase of this story actually has nothing really to do with Attack on Titan, rather Call of Duty, because we kind of got to give the backstory a little bit more. My dream in 2011 was to do Call of Duty commentary videos like my cousin who stole my Xbox Live name, SeaTactics, and named himself SeaIntact. I would basically play Call of Duty, record the best gameplay I had, and upload it with commentary, talking literally about anything that came to mind. No scripts, no notes, that's it. The videos were pretty bad. In 2011, Call of Duty was the most popular thing you could do, so being a 15-year-old kid, of course, I wanted to be like the people I watched, like Sea Nanners and Drifter, the aforementioned I get my namesake from. But this is only a small part of the story. It wasn't until 2014 when I started getting into anime again after almost 10 years of not watching it. Now, at the age of 19, I watched things like Sword Art Online and High School DxD, but don't worry, my tastes obviously improved. Now keep in mind, I still wasn't really into anime. I maybe did 2 or so anime videos at this point, and my channel was still flopping pretty hard. Fun fact, my second ever anime video was a High School DxD review for reaching 600 subscribers. Anyways, months passed and it was March. I had just started my first ever subscription to Loot Crate, and the theme of that month was literally called Attack on Titanfall to celebrate the release of the first Titanfall game and the Attack on Titan anime blowing up in the States. A little bit of a fun fact, the footage throughout this video is actually all of my original videos that I still kept with me to this day. So all of this gameplay and Loot Crate footage I recorded and played myself. Pretty cool, right? Well, in that Loot Crate, as you saw, was the first volume of Attack on Titan, which I still have, and it sat on my shelf for a little bit, for a couple months. Initially, I was very standoffish about AOT as my mindset was, this is popular, who cares about this stuff? Manga? But hey, don't judge a book by its cover, because as soon as I read it, I realized I needed more. Not only did I need more of AOT, but I wanted more anime in general to watch. So I started watching stuff like, well, Attack on Titan Season 1, Steins Gate, FMA Brotherhood. I had seen the original way back as a kid, so I was really interested in that. And for the first time, Evangelion. And hey, rewatching old stuff like my childhood favorite Cowboy Bebop again. I was watching a lot, and so I decided, since I was watching a lot, that maybe I should try doing it as an anime series. At that time, I had started watching channels like Arcada and Bob Samurai, of which actually agreed to be on my channel recently, and we did a video together. That's still unreal to me. 2 people I owe today for being a big hand in developing my style. So I decided to do what they did, and I made a little series by the name of Anime Friday. For 12 to 16 weeks, a couple times a year, I would release an anime review every Friday. At first, this was purely just bonus material for my channel. I never planned to do it past, as I guess I would say, the first season of the series, as at the time I was way more interested in gaming. I still wanted to make it, but I did it, and the first episode was an analysis on Attack on Titan Episode 1. And it's actually kind of funny because if you go way back and watch all these videos, they're all on my Patreon for the $1 tier and up. Cheap plug. They're actually really bad, but you can see how even now, my videos still retain that same general style and approach almost 7 years later. But I think it's important to now mention what appealed to me with Attack on Titan initially, and kind of how it, I guess, drove me to make all of these changes. Well, Upon reading the first volume, I was hooked because at the time I had never read anything quite like it. The idea of a world left unexplored because they were driven back by these humanoid-looking titans into a walled-off civilization. I mean, the people of the story were the underdogs in every sense, but you wanted to learn about the world and see why things became the way they are. The origins of the titans, and if Eren, Mikasa, and Armin would ever get to see the ocean. Such a small thing, but it really made the series seem so mysterious and vast while being centered on this very small piece of the world. World building was such an important aspect to my enjoyment for that series, as I think it was for many, but I think it was detrimental to my enjoyment. And while now a lot of us don't look back as fondly on AOT Season 1, back then, I didn't really know any better. My tastes for anime weren't fully developed back then, and me as a YouTuber was still looking pretty grim. But either way, it still compelled me to watch even more and more. Characters like Mikasa, who I grew to love because, and I'm embarrassed to even say this, because, hey, I was 19 and she was a cute girl who did awesome things that not many other cute girls could do, I guess. Eren, who, while being a little annoying at times for me, I still really enjoyed, and trying to theorize why exactly he became a Titan. Then there's Armin, who, well, in Season 1 Armin was really cool, but not nearly as beloved as he was today, at least from what I can remember. Truly back then, Attack on Titan was the zeitgeist as much as it is now, probably even more, like you wouldn't imagine. And in that sense, it really is a shame that the 4-year wait happened the way it did, but it really derailed a lot of momentum the series had. But after watching, I decided that I had watched enough anime to do this short 12-episode series for Anime Friday. My first video, a really awful video on Dragon Ball Z, and my second video was a breakdown of the first episode of Attack on Titan. I know, that's really weird saying that because a lot of you now know me for my episode reviews and breakdowns. But hey, baby SeaTactics was ahead of his game back then, as I gave it my all in this video. I'll just play a couple clips right now so you can get an idea of what my first AOT video was like. And while there are cuts to this, believe me, I cut out some of the boring parts. These are likely some of the most horrifying, awful parts, and honestly, at the same time, the best parts of the video.
The first scene after one of the coolest intros that rivals DBZ is a shot of flowers and cryptic scenes. None of these show up in the first season besides the last. So keep this blurry image in your mind because it will blow your mind near the end of the episode. We find out that Eren was actually dreaming those terrible dreams and downright awful to a young lad. I'm starting to think that he was abused as a child. Anyways, a young girl tells Eren to wake up, and once again we are treated to an amazing shot. So Eren explains his dreams as something that went on forever, but he soon forgets about it. It turns out he was crying in his dream, which is pointed out by the girl he is with. So we found out the year the anime is set in, 845, which is in the Shiganshina district of Wall Maria. Then we... Very sorry about that. We then cut to the children walking into Shiganshina district when the young girl we come to find out is Mikasa questions him on his tears and prompts him to ask his father if there's any problems. Eren retorts with an answer that brings light to almost how cold and lifeless Mikasa is at times. So now you may be asking, yo, SeaTactics, what about that scene you told us to remember? Well, here we go. If we compare that to this screenshot, they are pretty much the same. Eren's dream may not have been just a dream, which leads me to believe that something bigger is going on here, possibly even more sinister. That raises a lot of questions and leaves only one answered. Eren saw his mother die before she died. I really like the pilot episode, to be honest. It sets up the show perfectly and it introduces really likable and relatable characters. Instead of being forced to just like one, you can choose a person you like more. If you're more of a forward thinker, you will probably like Armin. If you dream of big ideas and think larger than life, you will probably like Eren. Or if you're calm and collected, you will like Mikasa. It all depends on who you really are, and as for the visuals, this episode is beautiful from beginning to end.
So yeah, a lot of that was really rough, but the thing is, I continue to make videos, and to this day, I'm still doing it almost 7 years after that video came out. Attack on Titan is the reason I talk about anime on this channel. It's the reason I still do YouTube at all. It's the reason I even watch anime. I owe a lot to this series because if I never read that manga when I was curious, then I wouldn't be here talking to you in this video. I'd probably not cultivated the audience I have of ReZero, never would have refound my love for anime, anime, none of this would be happening, to simply put. But the story simply doesn't just end at that, because the reason you're here is likely because of my recent AOT coverage. So I want to share with you just why I am doing AOT videos again. After finally catching up to season 3 so we could watch it on the King of Anime podcast, I had an idea. So Attack on Titan was one of my first ever anime videos on YouTube, and the reason I talk about anime at all, why not go full circle and talk about the final season? Honestly, for me, it was a way to pay respects to the series that brought me so much joy in my life. So I did the first video on a literal whim. This idea was something that floated around for about a couple weeks, and then on a Thursday, I uploaded my video with Gabby on the thumbnail, and well, that's the reason you likely subscribe to my channel. Hi, how you doing? Now, ever since that video has come out, I have gotten thousands and thousands of more subscribers. I started doing those videos at 12k subs, and now I'm at the time of this recording, I literally just hit 23.1k subs, and I've probably got even hundreds of thousands of even more viewers. And honestly, I have tons of people to thank. People like the creators of the anime, all the staff who worked on it from Wit and Mappa, and whoever else was outsourced, the creator of Attack on Titan himself, and whoever else helps him make that manga, and of course you guys who watch my stuff. Because to be real, the first video got a lot of criticism from so many people. Some of it was tough to swallow, some of it kind of made me mad, some of it hurt my feelings. But I took your criticisms, like I do each and every single week if there are any, and try to make my AOT videos better and better. And because of that, my whole channel has gotten better. So yeah, I hope that you know why I do these AOT videos and just how long I have been doing YouTube, almost 10 years. If you haven't, check out my recent 9-year anniversary stream I did where we went back and watched tons of my older videos. I even in the very first part give beginner tips to people who are just getting into YouTube. We had a ton of people watching that, and everyone had a great time roasting my awful content from 5 to 7 years ago. Also, all the clips you saw in this video, most of them are over on my Patreon page at the $1 tier if you're interested to go further back. I have literally hundreds of anime videos upon gaming videos as well, including more AOT videos, like when I covered all of AOT Season 2, like I do now actually. My reviews for AOT Season 1 and Season 2, and my videos talking about the live action. Either way, I will be redoing those in the future, so subscribe for that if you haven't already. I'll also be doing videos for the OVAs and a couple top 10 lists suggested by you, the viewers, as well as a part 2 to my favorite moments in Attack on Titan. Thank you all for watching the video. Much appreciated, all the attention you give me. So, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.